As one of the few living survivors of a zombie outbreak, it's up to me to scrounge up supplies and live as long as I can. In my first night, I holed up in an abandoned house, only to be seen in the darkness by a zombie that spotted me through holes in the broken down wood. The lumberjack zombie broke down the door and worked his way upstairs, leading to an awkward fight that I managed to win. Before long, I was starving and managed to shoot a deer with an arrow. I followed the blood trail to my prized dinner, and just as I arrived to collect my harvest, I dropped dead due to starvation. There are ideas at play in 7 Days to Die that sound appealing, but they don't tell the whole story about this bug-riddled, ugly, and most importantly, incomplete product. The first thing you will notice in 7 Days to Die is that everything is ugly, and not just in a zombie apocalypse kind of way. The landscape is never quite as smooth looking as it should be. Flora consists of pairs of low-resolution, intersecting flat textures which stand out in the worst way possible. In a lot of ways, it looks like something from the days of PS2 and GameCube. I'm sure sacrifices had to be made visually to facilitate the Minecraft-alike grid-based world that allows players to dig and build or tear down everything on the map, but when a new release looks as dated as this does from the very start, it's hard to want to continue playing. The frame rate consistently dips and hiccups when moving at anything more than the unbearably slow default walking pace. Pop-in can be noticed in every direction as trees load into the map in a jerky manner. Even when wearing headphones, it was impossible for me to pinpoint where an approaching zombie was coming from. Zombies that are still nearly 20 feet away sound like they're breathing down my character's neck. 7 Days to Die's combat rewards aiming for the head, and I like that for a zombie outbreak simulator. However, combat is frustratingly difficult at low levels. Maybe it gets better with a stockpiled arsenal, but I was never that fortunate. I'm not sure if any first-person game has effectively pulled off melee combat, and this is no different. Early on, zombie encounters result in an annoying dance of swinging a wooden club and circling around trying to dodge attacks, just hoping for a headshot that stuns your foe. If you manage to knock one to the ground, your attacks will do more damage. The most egregious aspect of this release is that it is a console port of a PC title that is currently in early access on Steam, and furthermore is considered by the PC developers to be, quote, currently in alpha stage development. Nothing whatsoever is mentioned in any location about that on the store pages for PlayStation and Xbox. Xbox even has a preview section designed for this type of release, but you won't find it there, only on the regular storefront with no warning about its alpha stage development. It's actually advertised as including DLC. Come on now, focus on finishing the game first. There is no reason that 7 Days to Die needed to be ported to console in its current state. It's in alpha development, available on Steam in early access. Calling this a full game is disturbingly misleading, and it's disappointing to see Telltale attach their name to this as their first entry into publishing work from outside developers. If you still want to try this out, I suggest looking into the PC release. It will receive updates faster and more consistently, and costs less at $24.99 versus $29.99. The console release, while possessing some good ideas, is an absolute mess. Combat, crafting, and constructing are all chores to accomplish, all the while you have health, thirst, hunger, and heat meters that are slowly killing you. And at every point you are staring at a world that looks as impressive as any GameCube game I could randomly pull off my shelf right now. Sony shouldn't even allow this on the store in its present state. By the time the PC version is finished, there will probably be a lot of enjoyment to be had, and that's when it should have been ported to consoles. Doing it now destroys the reputation of the 7 Days to Die brand in exchange for the hopes of a short-term cash influx by rushing it to consoles. Save yourself the trouble and avoid this one even when it hits the $5 bargain bin in a couple of months.